Well, thanks again for ordering a custom report for us. Yeah, I'm sorry it took so long to get it out. God, we get overwhelmed with these things. I didn't realize it'd be so popular, and it takes me longer than I thought doing a researcher. I thought I knew all this stuff would be easy, but no, it takes effort, and that's why I really see more now how the average person just Googling and trying to find something, boy, it's difficult. I've been studying this stuff for 30, 40 years and I'm having difficulty. So if you're a novice at this, I appreciate the effort. But anyway, here, first thing, make sure you see this video I'm showing you here, how to read this report and what to do next. Because this is the important thing, is what you do next after the report. And there are things that you may want, this is a big report. So everything you don't want to do right away, go through it, listen to my video, watch that first one on what to do next, because that's very important, how to treat people and who to contact and why. And then put it aside, and then come back later and try something else, because you have to follow through. That's the key to everything. Life's work. So if this is something important for you, just start doing work. And at least I gave you all the tools. You don't have to, go through 50 million or 150 million websites. That this is, the shopping list to do, and this is where all the good stuff is. And I go state and local nonprofit organizations, the county government, federal government, and then there's two videos here. The one you're going to watch now, and then I stop for a while, go up, change clothes because you'll see another suit, and that is on what's happening on the internet. Man, that's even more exciting. It's growing faster. It's not as big yet as government programs, but it's growing and should be big, but it's easier, better, faster, cheaper. So you got to start learning both of these systems. So let's start out and see what you got here. Local programs, $12,000 grant for households affected by the hurricane. Yeah, that's hurricane you-know-who, Matthew. So that's a program there. Okay, $1,000 to $25,000 at 0% interest for, so you get $1,000 to $25,000 at 0% interest relief loan for your business. Maybe you had a little business, you had a small business, you had a business in the basement or something like that. Yep, that's a business, and you should look at that money. More recovery money and help for Hurricane Matthew. There's more. See, there's more. And actually, this is where I learned about the programs. Back in the 70s, when I grew up in Wilkes-Barre, man, they had a big flood up there, man, and HUD and everybody came over. I mean, we lost the whole town. I don't know, maybe tens of thousands of people lost their homes. My dad had an RV, a mobile home actually from the HUD that they put on the golf course that my dad was a member of. I mean, we didn't have homes, and we go up and shovel all day, man. And the government just changed everything. That's why I say that the stuff that is available from the government is incredible. Okay, money help to purchase and rehabilitate foreclosed property. Right. So this is the programs in here too. I'm showing you how to be, one of these house flippers, that are doing so well on cable TV and stuff like that. So there's a lot of government programs that help you do that too. So not only for having your own house, but being a house flipper. And here's $875. If you have $875 in your pocket, that gets you $15,000 at 0% interest, forgivable. This is forgivable. That means if you stay there for a few years, you don't have to pay it back. Yeah. Oh, who the hell is going to do that besides your father? Like my father anyway. I used to borrow $5 from him. So that's incredible kind of stuff there. Okay, money for the construction, acquisition, and rehabilitation of apartment building. So maybe you have a 3, 4, 5, apartment unit building or anything. Okay, or you want to buy one or construct one. That's where that kind of money is. $10,000 down payment, 0% interest, plus $2,000. That's just an extra $2,000, and a low interest mortgage to boot. All that stuff. Subsidy payments for rental housing. Okay, you want to rent something? Okay, there's subsidy programs. Public housing for low and moderate individuals and families. Home ownership for people in public housing and voucher programs. Okay, donations of city-owned property for people who want to develop affordable housing. That's right. The government will give you the property. Hey, we're not using that property over there. You could use that. We'll give it to you. Donate it to you, and you put some cool housing on it and become a hotshot real estate entrepreneur. $50,000 for homeowners who owe more on their mortgage than the house is worth. Okay, this is a program for people underwater. Right. You're underwater? Well, the government has a program with bailing you out of that hole you're in. That's right, $50,000. Who would have thought? This is like Donald Trump money, man. That's why he made all these gazillions. He started with housing programs, and he still uses these programs. And here's a discount on property taxes. Right? So who would have known? That's right. You have to know. And this is for look, armed forces, blindness, disability exemption, disabled granny flat. So if you have a granny flat in your house, you get a historical preservation, homestead property access, like almost everybody, deployed military, senior citizen, all these things, so you don't have to pay. So if you get a couple thousand bucks like that, just for making a phone call and filling out a fill in the blanks form, whatever. Money to pay energy bills, okay. Money to fix up a home and purchase new heating and cooling system. This is a national program. That's all over. Now that one's income requirements. So that's right. You got to check the incomes all. That fluctuates all over. Some have no income requirements all. Some will be, starting for families at $30,000-$40,000 a year, but they go up to $70,000-$80,000 a year. So they're all over the lot. So be sure to check. Emergency financial assistance for rent, mortgage, utilities. Emergency money, man. You don't go to those payday loan people. That's the worst thing in the world you want to do. Free and low-cost housing counseling services. These are counseling. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all right there. So these are free people that help you. You want to buy a house, whatever, know the programs, or actually they even help with debt problems or foreclosure problems. They're free. Don't go and Google and look for somebody because they're going to charge you money. And lawyers will even charge a hell of a lot more. Free legal help with housing and mortgages. Speaking of lawyers, that's what they're here for. See, these are nonprofit organizations that just want to do good in the community. See, the whole society is not just made up of people trying to get as much money from you as can. Besides there's honest business people too, and then there's people that they just love doing this and rather do it for free. So they go out and become a nonprofit, and then they get grant money to do it for you for free because they love doing it so much. So these here, there are 2, 3, 4 legal services right there for you. Free home buyer assistance, free foreclosure prevention. Okay, now that sounds interesting. You're concerned, now don't wait until the wolf's at the door and the sheriff's knocking, putting a nail through your door to put the notice on. No, you call these people before and they'll help you through this stuff because it's all about fear of the unknown. That's what's so great about experts. You get there, and they know what's 99% is going to happen, and that eliminates fear. So you know what to do. You have a plan, and everything's worked out. And that burden you have on your back that you worried so much gets lifted, and it just floats away, because now you know what you have to do. Worrying that you're going to be the next 10 years in jail, that's a heavy burden. Okay, loans to develop affordable housing in minority communities. Loans for multifamily rental properties, right? You want to do that. There's money there. Okay, get a home with sweat equity. You know that sweat equity thing? Well, that's around still. And that's Habitat for Humanity. So it costs you nothing. But what you have to do is spend time helping other people build houses. Then you get a house with no down payment. It depends on the program, so check it out. Little no down payment at all, and a low interest mortgage. Actually, you still get 0% interest mortgage. Now, 0%. You're saving half. Like money. Because what I've seen, after 15 or 30 years on a mortgage, you're really paying double the price of a mortgage, because of the interest. If you don't do that, that means getting a mortgage half price. Okay, free Wi-Fi in public life. People forget about the library, man. Not only do they have free Wi-Fi, they help you with stuff, and they could show you more grant money than I can, because they have access to databases from the Foundation Center. There's two big databases. One from the Foundation Center. One is for private grants, and really it's all. And the other one is for well, they're all private grants. These are not government stuff. These are foundations, public institutions, or big rich families that put up foundations. And there's like 140,000 places like this, and only 10% of them have websites, so you never find them. Now, most of them is for nonprofit organizations. So you want to become a nonprofit, or you want to build houses and become a nonprofit. Man, this is where you look at too. And see, the library has access to those databases, or I'll tell you which library has. So contact the library. They're great. And actually, the library here, I have a video here. You see this fellow librarian. There's a lot of librarians now that even help you like start businesses on the internet. Yeah. So it's like a one-on-one computer consultant to have, because a lot of us are still intimidated about using this stuff. Okay, so that's the two free databases. And here, make sure you make an appointment with these housing counselors that are getting grant money to help you solve that problem. I have videos there of people who do this work. You see how smart and intelligent and nice they are. So, they're a resource in your community. They're all over. The database there I have is for the national database. Find the ones in your area, and I show you how to do that. Okay, this free service helps vets get 100% more money than they thought they could get. That's right. And that's available, but people don't know. You watch that video there, and you'll see, because this is the government's given money for these experts to find money for you if you're a vet or family of vet. Man, that's pretty cool. Housing counseling services, again, gardening and money management. This is your county cooperative extension service. Neat stuff. Man, what they do, any kind of gardening problem, you don't have to go to a landscape consultant or something like that. They'll help you. Watch a video there of how they help you with financial services too. And you have to check your local county cooperative, see what they have to make sure it's good for you too. So that's there. And then here is something you can have, write this down to use for the rest of your life. It's a free service that gives you any kind of management consulting help. Anything. This is called business development centers. These are experts that get grants money. Anything. You want to be a freelancer. You want to flip houses. You want to be use Airbnb or something like that with your property, any of that kind of stuff. And you have a management problem, you have a tax problem, you have a financial problem, they're consultants that help you with all those problems. You don't worry about the legal ramifications to do that. They help you with all that. You don't have to go and Google for, somebody's going to charge you $400 an hour or whatever to get that answer. Here's where to get it free. That's why I think so many things stop us from doing things in life, because they think it's going to cost us money, and that's what Google sort of tells you if you look there, because you're just going to see the people that charge you money. So then you say, I won't do it. Now here's another one thing that's even more important, because it's 211. 211, you call that number. Anything you want. This is like the free Google. Everybody in this website is free. So when you go to Google, 99% of the people there are people trying to get your money. Here, nonprofit organizations, government programs, or whatever. That's all they do. It's set up by the United Way. It's all across the world, across the country. And here, I'll show you how it looks like. If you put in Google and put in mortgage, you get 127 million mortgage websites. 127 million. That's million. That's like half the number of people in the country or whatever. Now here you go, and Google, because these are separate databases just for where you live, or you call them on the phone. Just dial 211 wherever the hell you are in this country, and you say, hey, I got trouble with my mortgage. And here they have 27 places there that are in business just to help you with mortgages. That's what legal help. You need legal help. 36 places that are just in business to help you for free. You got to repair your home. 17 places just give you free help for that. Childcare, 440 places. Man, a lot of help out there for childcare. Okay, sources of money help for handicap accessible. These are programs. If you can't find money to make your home more accessible, these are sources that could maybe help you brainstorm about other ways to finance that, because that's what they spend a living on. See, to me, that's how I find information. You find somebody that makes a living studying that stuff, because they've seen it all pass through their door, through their eyes, or through their websites already, because they've been doing it. When we're doing something for the first time, we have no idea what the hell's there. We put in, we get 15 million websites, and no idea. We call a few of these people, and they're worthless, and you can't find the gems. These people know where the gems are. That's why I think people are becoming more important in our society now than ever before, because with the information explosion, you can't decide what the hell is good or bad when you use Google and all that nonsense that's on the internet, and most of it just wants your money. Now here's also free cell phones and 500 free minutes a month. Now, these are a bunch of programs that I've found that I'm worried that people don't know about this. Communication, cell phones are so important nowadays. These are government subsidized things. There's 4 or 5 of them there, and their income determinant. And there's even internet at $10 a month for internet services. Okay, look at these state programs you have there in Florida. 7 programs for people who want to develop real estate. Wow. Look at all those programs there. That's money programs. You want to be, you want to be the next Donald Trump. Okay, there it is. The government will help you too, just like it helped Donald Trump. Okay, $42,000 to pay your mortgage if you lose your job. $42,000. Okay, what are you gonna do when you lose your job? You got a mortgage, $2,000, $3,000 a month, whatever you got to pay every month, and gee, well, here's the help. I mean, that's astounding. Here, $25,000, bring your mortgage up to date. Right, program, $15,000 down payment and closing costs, $50,000 to reduce your mortgage. Okay, so in other words, you have a $200,000 mortgage, so this is $50,000 to reduce that $200,000 to $150,000. Now you have manageable payments. I mean, it's just amazing. To me, I don't know how the hell you would know to ask these things. $25,000 to pay back taxes and other items so that you qualify for a reverse mortgage. Wow. See, it's just amazing. $15,000 down payment at 0% interest and forgivable. Forgivable. Don't have to pay it. That's what it means. I don't know why the hell they still call it a loan, but it is. Money developers can give customers to purchase their property. Online affordable housing locator. Get an extra $2,000 in your pocket when buying a house. Well, clearinghouse for problems with people with special needs. Developers can get $15,000 to make their apartment more energy efficient. Okay, grants to pay utility bills, heating and air conditioning equipment, $2,600 to weatherize your home. Local banks that put grant money in your savings account. See, if you put in like $100 in your savings account, they'll put in $200, $300, $400. So all of a sudden you have $500 and you just put in $100. Find out the banks in your area that have that. Federal programs for this. Call this number before you do anything to check out your mortgage, because this is the Hope Hotline. They put a whole bunch of the government programs that will help you reduce your mortgage. And if you go online, you're going to get some huckster who's going to sell you something. Get the information from the horse's mouth before you go into dealing with these hucksters, because we don't stand a chance against these sales. They've been doing this 24 hours a day for who knows how many years. They know what to say, to push your buttons. So you want to be armed before you call them. Call them up and see, because they'll tell you the deal. $50,000 discount on homes. This is the good neighbor next door. HUD homes for sale. Independent counseling for reverse mortgage. Before you talk to anybody about a reverse mortgage, contact one of these people that I show you there, and they'll give you the skinny about reverse mortgages so you don't get taken down the road on that too, because it may or may not be good for you. You have to decide, but you need the information, and not just the information from a salesperson or Googling. Somebody who has your interest in mind too, and that's what these people are. They get grants not to sell you anything, not making any money off you, just to impart their knowledge and what they know about this stuff. Okay, repair loans and grants to fix up houses, and then there's loan money and loan guarantees. And this is from the Department of Agriculture to buy and fix up houses. So look at that stuff. Remember the follow through. Even if you're a little bit not sure that you're eligible, call anyway. There's always loopholes and ways that the bureaucrats to make it happen for you if you treat them nice. That's why to look at that first video and then come back and look at part 2 of this. Okay, now let me go over some of the, let's say, non-government money sources and the non-money government sources for housing. Okay, first is peer-to-peer loans. I mean, everybody knows that the traditional loans. You go to the bank and to give them money to lend to somebody other money, and they make a lot of money in the middle. And if you go to the bank to borrow money, you get charged a lot, and if you go to the bank to save money, you don't get much. So that's why these peer-to-peer loans that are now popping up on their website, man, I think this is going to revolutionize everything. Not overnight, but it's growing. I mean, there's billions and billions of dollars now here, and it's a place to get money without with cutting out the middleman. In other words, so if you go to a bank and put in $1 or something, they're only giving you like 1% nowadays on your money. And then if you go to borrow, they're charging you 10, 12% or something like that. So now on these peer-to-peer loans, what happens is that individuals go to the website and lend money to people, but in mass, so that you get 100 people lending you $10,000 or something like that. And so they're getting 3 or 4%, and you're only getting charged like 4, 5, 6%, 7% or something like that. So that's why everybody's winning, except the fat cats on Wall Street, with the investors in the banks, and it makes it just a lot more personal and everything. So that's why I think there's a lot of reasons why this is going to grow. So I got some of the more popular ones. A lot of them, these are for businesses and things like that, for small businesses, large businesses, that people use them, individual loans. And see, what's neat about this stuff is that it's so much easier. It's faster. And also here's the banks, for community development financial institutions. These banks are banks, but they're friendly community banks, like the old ones in the movies. What was that movie with Jimmy Stewart? Where he had a little community bank and everybody was borrowing money from them, and the bank was going to go bankrupt and everybody's going to lose their house. Well, that's how these banks work. They're involved in the community. They're not invested because of they have to make people on Wall Street happy. It's the community. So that's why they're friendlier, they're nicer, they're lower interest rate. Okay, also you can make a lot of money from your home from the shared economy. I don't know if you read about this, but this is really taking over so much of our world now because of the internet. It's a way people are using the internet to do things themselves, make extra money, cut out middlemen. Nothing's traditional anymore. This is why more people are earning money, part-time on the internet and stuff like that than traditional jobs now, it seems. And that seems to be the way things are going. And they're piecing together different kinds of income. Well, now with a home, that's an asset. You become now a capitalist because you own a home or even rent an apartment or anything. You could act like a capitalist and make money from the fact that you own a home, not just your labor, or you're at a home, or you have a place. And one way is through Airbnb. I don't know if you know about this. This is like instead of hotels, people are using Airbnb. This only started like 5 years ago or so, and now they're a bigger company than any of the big hotel chains. They're probably the most valuable company. They're more valuable than any hotel chain. They're something like $50 billion now. It depends on who you count. Some have 40 or whatever. I mean, Hyatt Hotels is only like 13 billion. But see, what's interesting about Airbnb, they have only like 2,000 or 3,000 employees. Hyatt Hotel has like 130,000 employees or something like that. But Airbnb is making money for like 1 million people. And now I've read like 1.5 million people. So it's a way to make money. Like we make a bunch of money off our apartment that we have in Washington, D.C. just because we have an apartment. We put on Airbnb. And see, these platforms take care of everything. You don't have to worry about collecting money. You don't have to worry about insurance. You don't have to worry about marketing. They do it all. And it's amazing. And so now it's sort of like becoming a entrepreneur with training wheels or something like that. It's a great way. So now because you have a home, you have an extra room, you can make money. I mean, people are making $500 a month or whatever, off an extra room. People are putting tents in their backyard even and renting that out. Actually, it's called Airbnb because people started with an air mattress in their living room renting that out. And so there's all ways to make money. Look at that. I got an article there about how to use it or how to be an Airbnb host, or how to get money. It costs you nothing to try. See, that's the other thing. None of this stuff now costs any money to try to make money at. That's what's neat. Most of these, schemes or whatever that were on the internet and everything, they wanted money from you. That's how they made money, was getting money from you. Here it costs nothing to try, and you only give them a small percent after you get the money, and they collect the money, they check out the money, they do all the hard nonsense stuff that most of us don't like doing, and that's why this is growing so fast. Okay, another way through pets. Pets is another way, and I'll show you how to do that. People make $1,000 a month or so extra because they have another puppy around or something like that for a few days. And because there's a growing business in the pet business, there's a website shows you how to do it. And you just sign up and see what happens. If you have room, you don't have to be a house owner. You can be a renter or an apartment renter and do this. Make money from your parking space when you're not using it. That's right. Just park. People, space. I mean, you're like a Wall Street fat cat, making your money make money. So here you can make your assets make money. That's what's neat about it. Or here's one for pet lovers. There's more about pet lovers. Or have people over for dinner, right, and make money. People from out of town love to have local people, and this has now become a big business. So if you like cooking for people, you can make money at it. Have friends over for dinner. It's not thousands of people like, a bus drives up to your house, a nice couple or two couples from, from somewhere you never heard of, have dinner with you. And they're happy to spend money. That's it. Now here's another thing, is crowdfunding. That's another thing, to make money. And I'll show you soon in real estate, but it's used for anything. Anything. This is now one of the biggest things that's up to $34 billion or whatever they're giving out last year. And it costs nothing. You don't have to pay the money back. It's free to do. See, that's another thing. All this stuff is free. No income requirements, no credit check. You keep the money forever. No complicated business forms, no business plans, no lawyers, no accountants. All this stuff, when you go out and try to get money for doing anything, that's what you usually have to do. It's fast, and there's no fat cat gatekeepers. Nobody's say, well, you can't do this. Nobody's going to buy this. It doesn't matter. You go on the crowds, and the crowds tell you, and it costs nothing to do that. So for sure, and you don't do it until they give you the money. Now I have a video there shows you how to set up a website. You have to remember it costs nothing. Some of these websites only take 20, 30 minutes to do. I have samples of people do this, startup money. They get like $500,000, and they don't even need a product. No product. Hey, I'm going to do this. You guys interested? And if they say yes, they give money, and then you collect enough money. Okay, I got enough to do it now. I'll come back next year, send you the product. Well, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, would you go to Macy's and have them walk in, here's money, I'll come back next year and pick up the product? That's what people are doing on the internet. Why? Doesn't matter why, it's there. You're looking for a way to survive. This is a tool. These are all tools now in our society. There's dozens of people here. I show you my videos. I've interviewed like 700 people have done this. Also now you could use it for buying a home too, crowdfunding money. Now here I have some articles. What I did is I took articles that are out there that I reviewed and everything. They seem a good place to understand how to do it. For buying a property, fixing up property, and things like that, how doing it. Then I show you websites that are just for that. I mean, the major websites, if you heard of like Indiegogo or GoFundMe and places like that, they're not specific for housing. But these that I show you are for housing. So that's sort of interesting. You try both. I don't know what works. Nobody knows what works. You can ask all the advice you want, and until you try it, you really don't know. Okay. And also for investments. People want to flip homes. That's a big idea nowadays. Well, crowdfunding you could use for that. People are doing that now. Even the big time, flippers or whatever. Flippers. Wasn't that a TV show or something? Or whatever. And they're using it because it's a new way, it's a faster way, it's a better way, it's a fun way to get the money you need instead of talking to some stuffy banker, and that's what I have a video of a woman who runs one of these sites, that people use for flipping houses and things like that. A couple articles and then I show you other websites that do that. Now another thing that people really meetups are very popular now. That people get together in groups and talk about stuff or whatever. Well, now you go to any city. I mean, there's 100. They're like AA meetings, but they're for everything. I mean, you go down. I did it for your city. I did one, and you just put in like business and careers or something, and you'll see dozens and dozens, depending on the city, how many there are. And find one for real estate investors. There'll be one, there'll be two, there'll be a dozen, there'll be 20, there'll be 50, or whatever. And just show up. It costs $20 for a cheap meal or something like that, and that's it. But you find other real estate investors. If you don't know about this stuff, what you're probably doing is going online and searching Google, and looking for how to invest in real estate or something. And you'll get some huckster like me who will try to sell you something. And you don't have to do that, And why? Because then it's painful. It costs a lot of money. They have courses now, thousands of dollars worth. Donald Trump was selling them for like $20,000 or something, how to invest in real estate. You go to a meetup. And actually, by the way, he started his whole empire with a government property in Cincinnati, yeah, the ones I showed you about earlier, and and so you could go to these groups and find out how other people are doing it. Then you have a friend who's in the business, who's doing it, other people like that could help you know exactly what's going on in your area because they probably already tried it and failed. So that's a better way to learn, than spending thousands of dollars on some course or whatever, and who the hell knows what you get. Trump's getting sued like hell out of these things. I mean, all that. I was involved and I saw all this stuff happening, all these get-rich-quick schemes. It just takes effort, and the knowledge is there. And it's just putting it to work and trying and trying and trying. Oh, here's another thing. It's fat cats, angels. And you could go, I mean, what's neat about the internet too is that it's getting everybody in a barrel. So all these fat cats that are out there want to invest in stuff, they're now all online. They're looking most of these websites, I'll show you, like angels.co, they're looking for companies or techie stuff or some kind of small business going. But real estate, I'm sure they'd be interested. You got to find somebody. But at least you have, like here, for your state, there's over there's 4,000 or 5,000 people in your state, fat cats, interested in investing in ideas. They're right there. Wow. I mean, all their contact information is there. I mean, before when I was growing up, you had to belong to the country club or something like that to find help like this, or get in touch with these people or beat on them or whatever it is. And there's other websites that have similar kind of thing. And then here's what I put in. This is where government offices that, well, they don't give out money, but they can get your money back. Because so many people get screwed nowadays. People who don't treat you right and stuff like that. I mean, or you don't know your rights, and everybody thinks you have to spend $500 an hour or $200 an hour, whatever lawyers cost anymore, and to get justice, but you don't. You could get the best attorneys in the world to work for you for free. You just have to learn the system, and they're there, and they have to fight for you. That's what they're there for, because they regulate that industry. So it's the cops. See, every business, everybody has cops that they have to report to, and you find those cops, and they come down, and even if you, the customer, are wrong, they have to investigate anyway. So that's what's neat. So you have power in the system this way. Otherwise, if you don't know about this, you have no power to me, because you have to spend $500, $1,000, $2,000 on a lawyer to get back at somebody, because they'll just say no, I'm sorry, or whatever, and get a letter from their lawyer, and their lawyers, even if you get your lawyers, are going to be better than your lawyer. They do this all the time, but nobody's good. It's sort of like you getting a letter from the IRS that you owe them $75. Well, even if the IRS is wrong, you probably pay them, right? Just to get it off your back. Well, for business, it's the same way. The insurance company gets a letter that they owe you $500, or you say they owe them $500. It's cheaper to pay you the $500 than to talk to that bureaucracy for the next 3 months or whatever the hell it is, and possibly lose and be fined or be thrown out of business. They have too much to lose by screwing with the government. It's easier to pay you off. So banks are that way, real estate brokers are that way, insurance companies are that way, even lawyers. There's even a pot of money, in your state capital for lawyers who ran off with your money. So we all that. And then how to check for any professional. And then also there's a national bill with the Federal Trade Commission that you could get, if bill collectors don't treat you nicely, you could get $1,000 from them. That's right, get $1,000 for them. I show you how to do that. It's something you could threaten from, when they say, hey, do you know you're violating the law? Here's the law, look it up, and here's what I'm going to pursue. And then I show you how to get free research help on anything. Google is a problem. It's good, it handles a lot of stuff, but you really have to know exactly what you're looking for. Like up earlier, we talked about, you put in mortgage debt, and you'll get 170 million websites or whatever, and that's why it's just overwhelming. You don't know exactly what to ask for. Now, it's great if you know what to ask for. You're looking for Matthew Lesko. Then you could find everybody like me. But if you're looking for money to solve a problem, and you do that, then Matthew Lesko will probably find you, because if I spend a lot of money on Google, I want to find people who have that question. And I'm going to spend a lot of money on Google because I know I can maybe get money from you. See, and that's what Google's all about. it's a place to spend money. If you want to spend money doing something, Google, because everybody who wants to get money from you spends a lot of time and energy and money trying to figure out Google, how to make sure you see them when you go to Google. So that's what those first two videos are all about. And then I tell you about 211org, the organization I list up above. These are wonderful because this is a database of all nonprofit and government offices that solve problems. So nobody in their database will charge you a penny. Wow. And I call them the second best in the world because I feel I'm the best because I'll show you a lot more because I understand more of these things than they do. But this is a wonderful source, and I turn to it finding something and checking things. So even on reports, if I miss something or whatever, they don't have a lot of stuff I have because I somehow have a knack of taking something that they give and they don't see how it can be used for some reason, like houses for $1. They used to call it the Urban Homesteading Act. So if you saw Urban Homesteading Act, you would know what the hell it was, right? It's a house for $1, right? So, okay, your local library, people don't forget about that. That's wonderful. They'll do research for you. They know experts, particularly local sources for money and help. And then your elected official. Watch this video there we have on how to use your elected official because they are the most important source that we all have, and they'll work for you for free. They want to do this for free because if they help you with something, you'll vote for them no matter what they do. They get caught with their hand in a cookie jar, and as long as they got you a $50,000 grant or something, you'll still vote for them probably. And they know that. This is why they stay in business. All their staff is aimed at doing favors for constituents, people like you who are going to vote. And they want to do that. And they have special access to government offices that you and I don't. You and I have to go in the front door. These people have a backdoor phone number to call because the government office gets paid from the congressmen and senators, the elected officials. That's where they get their money. They don't get it from us. We give it to the government, and then Congress decides how to spend it. So that's why they keep everybody in Congress happy. So they'll answer a question and solve the problem a lot faster from them than they will you or me. That's just the way the world works. May not be right, may not be justice or whatever, but that's what it is. And it's a system. We all have access to it no matter who we are in this country. And that's what I'm trying to do is make sure everybody knows what's available and how to use it. Because if you don't, you're going to go on Google and think that's reality when it's not. Man, there's so much there for us all if we just start using it.